Welcome to Dino Park Media. My name is Samuel, and I am here once again with my co-host, Mr. Matt Hewell. Matt, why don't you go ahead and say hello?
Hey guys, how you doing today? Today's a great day to talk Jurassic Park, and I think we have a great video on our hands as always.
I think so too, and honestly, this is a little kind of a deep cut, for our Jurassic Park fans that listen to the videos here, watch the videos. And today we wanted to go right into a part of JP3, which is what killed the crew of the DINO-SOAR boat from the parasailing company.
Yeah,
so
the opening sequence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to kind of give a little context, right in the beginning of Jurassic Park 3, the opening sequence, it has that whole thing of like, it's Isla, but it's classified.
Restricted.
Yeah. And so and then you see Eric and his not yet stepdad, but his mom's boyfriend. They're doing this this parasailing thing, or this parasailing behind a boat thing called DINO-SOAR, because it's a pun, and they're doing it to try to see dinosaurs off the coast of Isla. It's illegal, but they're trying to get as close as they can to the island in order to maybe see a dinosaur, because at this point everybody's heard that dinosaurs do exist.
Such a great idea too.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
it's wonderful illegal. It's wonderful illegal, operation there. But anyway, so Eric and Ben are flying up in with their parasail behind the boat. The boat pilots through some fog, and then on the other side of the fog, everybody, the two guys that were running the boat are off of it. There's blood everywhere.
What happened to them?
And that's what we're trying to figure out. So what happened to the crew of the DINO-SOAR operation? So let me just go ahead and let you start off with this, Matt. What do you think really got the dinosaurs right away?
You know what? Nobody ever talks
Sorry, I got the
about.
people. Sorry, I got the people. Not got the dinosaurs.
Oh no, yeah. I get you 100%. You know what nobody ever talks about, dude, is the pteranodons from Lost World, because they weren't in cages.
That's true.
The Jurassic Park 3 pteranodons were in cages, and they were still in the cages during the opening sequence of Jurassic Park 3. So I'm thinking that it was the pteranodons, because the pteranodons were swift and they're still meat eaters. They could very easily have just, because it was cloudy, right? And It was on Isla where the pteranodons were. Boom. You can even see, two pteranodons kind of swoop in and take down the, because it did look like pteranodon markings on the, on the boat. I could be wrong, but it looked like pteranodons swooped in and killed them and then went into the water. That's my theory, is that it was the Lost World pteranodons that, get some more light. That's what I personally think that happened, logically speaking.
There's a possibility of that being true, and honestly, there is credence to your theory. I will say right off the bat, JP3 there were different elements that were incorporated by the filmmakers that were meant to be retcons of previous movies, as far as dinosaur designs.
Yeah,
and
Alan, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So then you look at that's primary example number one. How did Alan imagine the JP3 Raptor in his dream when he's flying on a plane?
Psychic or something.
Exactly. He's never seen that style of dinosaur before. It's because
he's seen the female from 93. Yeah.
Exactly. So they're wanting to they want the audience to believe that that is the way that the Velociraptor should have been the entire time, because they want them to be more movie accurate, have quills in order to simulate feathers and stuff like that. And they wanted to say this is the way that they should have been the entire time. I think it was a really dumb decision, but all that to say, if they're willing to make that an idea of a retcon, I'm willing to lean into the idea that they're willing to retcon the idea that the pteranodons were out there flying around by themselves, from Lost World, and that they're actually all back in the cage in JP3. Now, of course, later on we learn about the amalgam testing. So thankfully, there is something to be able to provide context to the idea of what you said, that a very realistic idea. JP3 pteranodons were in the cage, and the JP2 pteranodons were out there flying around still. That's a very good possibility. I will say this though, from what we can tell, the pteranodons that we've seen from JP2 they're meant to look majestic and timid and, you know, like at peace with the rest of the dinosaurs around them. But then in Jurassic World, like you said, you know, they were meat eaters. They were dive bombing and attacking humans, and they attacked Masrani and the helicopter crew in Jurassic World. So what's to say that, you know, these Lost World JP2 raptor, I keep saying raptors, pteranodons also would have been meat eaters, and they could have been out there flying around in the fog too. I think that's a good theory, and honestly,
thank you.
It wouldn't be too far a stretch to actually make that canon, you know.
Isla's on the same island, so that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some credibility to that theory. I don't think that's what it is. I have a different theory, based upon, you know, like what the filmmakers were wanting to do and all that kind of other stuff. But like what you said, 100% could totally be made canon, and it wouldn't be hard to make that canon at all.
Yeah, it's my head canon, but
yeah. Well, I like it. I like it. It gives more reason for the Lost World pteranodons to have, you know, a foothold, yeah, in the Jurassic Park franchise. But for me, I think that what actually killed the crew, I honestly do think that the Spinosaurus is the one that actually did kill the crew. I think that there's precedent to believe that, because not only are the crew of the DINO-SOAR boat killed in the water, but and so, like, you know, the Spinosaurus has a whole scene dedicated to it swimming up and attacking the boat later on in the movie. So there's good precedent for that
too. Yeah.
Yep. But then also, like you brought up a good point. Like, you know, there's like scratch marks on the canopy, and there's like different scratch marks on the boat and stuff like that. So like it could have been pteranodons dive bombing the boat, and that's a good point. But then also, we know how high this Spinosaurus can tower over a boat in water, like we saw at the end of the movie. And so it wouldn't be hard to believe that its three-pronged finger, its three-fingered hand comes down and just, you know, or the three fingers with the claws on its hands could just come down and slice the top of the canopy, just like a pteranodon attack would. The one thing, though, that makes me really think that it's a Spinosaurus attack is because of all of the blood. And why do I say that? Because if it was a pteranodon attack, you know, there would be a little bit of blood from them immediately, like grabbing them with their claws, you know, with their talons, and then like ripping them off the boat. But most likely they would not have sat there and clawed them so much that all the blood would be on the boat.
If it was the Jurassic Park 3 pteranodons, maybe because of the teeth in their beaks. But most likely, what would have happened, and we see this more in Jurassic World with how the pteranodons try grabbing Zara. First, they grab her by the arms, but then when she's down in the water, they try grabbing her in their beaks. And so, like, all that to say, there probably wouldn't have been that much blood if it was a pteranodon attack. What I do believe is that there would have been all that blood from the Spinosaurus coming up and then snapping on somebody with its teeth in its mouth, and then blood would have gone everywhere, because we see a lot of blood on its jaws when it attacks Nash and Cooper. Yep, there's so much blood, specifically with Nash. Like, you see it all over its jaws after it kills Nash. And so I'm thinking that all the blood on the boat is evidence of the fact that it's a Spinosaurus attack. Now, with that being said, there are a couple other theories that I've heard from other people as well. I have two black sheep candidates.
Yeah, you go ahead first, because like we might be actually thinking of the same one here.
Because there's in Costa Rica the DINO-SOAR group. Who's to say that some compies from Sorna didn't get on the boat? I know it's a lot of blood, but maybe it was a lot of compies.
Sure.
And they just kind of swarmed and took over. But then we don't see the compies as well. But they are small, so maybe they went into a little cabinet or something eating.
Well, we also don't see any bodies either. We don't see any corpses.
Yeah, we don't see any bodies. I was just thinking compies.
So that's a possibility, though. But yeah, I don't think compies is a very strong candidate.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, the novel Rex is a candidate, but
it's a swimmer. Yeah,
the swimmer, especially in the novel.
Yep.
So there's a chance that the T-Rex could have done that, but my other black sheep candidate was actually not an infant, but a junior, what do you call it, juvenile Mosasaurus, swooping in and doing its thing, not being like too large. And there was also that I don't want to call it a water dinosaur, but the one from Jurassic Park, the game in 11, that's a candidate as well. So those are my two black sheep.
I don't think Mosasaurus, I feel like that would have broken the boat, like in order to be able to get up there and actually snatch the two guys off of the boat from the dinosaur crew of JP3. I feel like that would have actually broken the boat like immediately. That would have just like taken it into the water, and that would have been the end of it. But if it was a small enough one, like you were talking about with like a baby mosasaur, like if it was a juvenile, then it could have gone up there, slapped up there, grabbed them. That could have caused a lot of the blood, but at the same time, then how would have those really cool, slits along the canopy happen? That's what so like there's just so much. I really think that our two strongest theories really are the Spinosaurus, my idea, but then also like I've never heard the Pteranodon idea before from you, and I think that that's a very strong idea that could totally work, definitely. But the last idea.
Yeah. Oh, go for it. Sorry.
The last idea could have been Godzilla. Just kind of came up quickly and then had the ultimate crossover.
That's probably number one.
That's the.
That was specifically 1998 Zilla.
Yeah, just popped up for a moment and then just like yum, and then just.
Because it likes fish, and then it's like, oh, these aren't fish; these are humans.
Oh, gross. Dang it.
Disgusting.
This one has been eating way too many tacos.
Doesn't even look
lately.
like Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a good topic to talk about. But your idea, your Pteranodon idea, definitely gets a lot of ideas rolling when it comes to like what actually killed the people. I think that they would have had to have been flying really low, because remember the parasail that
Jurassic Park
and JP3 that Ben and Eric are riding on, it goes over the fog. They're not in the fog when the boat goes through it. So those pteranodons would have had to been flying really low in order to be able to not be tracked at all by Ben and Eric. But I mean, it's still plausible, and I honestly do like that theory a lot. But my personal thought, I think the Spinosaurus did it.
The reason why I think it's the Pteranodons is because it's a blockbuster movie, if that makes sense, like a popcorn movie.
Yep.
And I feel like they can kind of play around with that, being these Pteranodons were just super swift, and it just always made sense to me. Even when I saw it in the movies, I was like, oh, it's the Pteranodons. Like in 2001 when I was like 6. So I mean,
Yeah, no, that's some good stuff. But with all that being said, I mean, that's pretty much what we have for the topic for the video for today. However, like, are there any final words, Matt, that you have for us before we sign off here?
Yeah, actually, on the talk of Pteranodons, I really want to know what you guys' favorite skin is from the Pteranodons from Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and then Jurassic World 3. What are your, I mean, we haven't seen Jurassic World 3 yet, but from what you've seen in the trailers and whatnot, what are your favorite skins in order, like top 3, top 5? Because you know what my favorite is and my favorite movie. Yeah,
absolutely. But Matt, thank you so much for putting this topic for a video forward. This was fun to talking about what actually did kill the DINO-SOAR crew from the beginning of Jurassic Park 3. But that's all that we have for the video today. So thank you everybody for listening all the way through. We really appreciate everyone that listens to our videos and watches them. But then also, if you like this content, you want to see more of it, we ask that you would please subscribe to Dino Park Media. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and everybody who subscribed so far, we are thankful for you. And if you are subscribing for the first time after this video, welcome to the family. We're so thankful that you are here. And then also, if you really like this channel and you want to support us in what we do, you can actually buy some of our merch that we have on spring.com. Actually, that link is in the description below, and we actually have some new merch coming out too, so you can check that out. And that's right, in celebration of Jurassic World Dominion coming out later this year, coming out in the summer. We want to be able to have some cool stuff to be able to celebrate the
29th anniversary of Jurassic Park.
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. But guys, we really appreciate everything that you do in order to support this channel. We are thankful for you watching today, but before we go, know you are loved.